Hello, you guys. Welcome to this very first official episode of my podcast, Girls Talk with Nicole. So, today we are going to start off from being a little bit vulnerable, I would say, because we are going to start from talking about one of my favorite and least favorite topics, which is a heartbreak and dealing with heartbreak, going through heartbreak. Because, girl, I have been heartbroken so many times in my life that I feel like I can call myself an expert when it comes to dealing with heartbreaks. Yeah, I know it's kind of sad, but on the other hand, I feel like, yeah, I can be proud of myself because even though I have been hurt so many times, I'm still standing, I'm still strong, I'm still positive, and I still believe in love a little bit. And to be fair, to be very like a little bit honest with you guys, right now I'm actually going through heartbreak as well, and it is a quite painful breakup to be very honest, because I really was hoping that this relationship would work, but because of distance, it didn't. And I feel like I am doing very good considering how much I was in love with this guy and how badly I wanted it to work and how good the relationship was when it was good. And some of you probably know, but I'm going through a therapy right now. So I actually noticed that going through therapy at the same time and having the opportunity to regularly speak to a therapist helps me to go through this heartbreak a little bit more consciously and strongly, I would say. I think even though it's one of the hardest heartbreaks, it's also actually one of the easiest. I feel very stable and, like I said, very conscious and self conscious in a positive way. So I was like, okay, let's just start off from this since it's a fresh topic. And I think talking about something when it's fresh is the best because then it's more authentic. So here we go. I actually made some notes, so please don't mind me looking at my phone if you're watching it on a video. But I just wanted to make sure that I stick to the topic and that I don't go off topic because, ADHD. And I'm just, Nicole, and I love having million side stories on the side, but I kind of want to keep you focused and I would like you to get the information that you're maybe seeking for. So let's not beat around the bush anymore and let's just start from the first thing that I feel like helps me the most. Mind you, I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a therapist, so I'm not gonna lie. I feel like some of those tips that I'm gonna give you might be a little bit toxic, or maybe not toxic, but maybe not the best choice. I'm just going to tell you how I survived it. You take it or leave it and move on. So, first thing that I usually do when I'm heartbroken is to just focus on myself. I instantly, actually, kind of automatically go into this mode when I'm fully focused on working, dancing, full force, just me, my future, my success, and my passion. And when I Googled how to deal with heartbreak, I want to ask you guys some time ago on social media. Actually, a lot of people said the same thing. I feel like maybe Google means it in like a little bit different way, probably to just hang out with friends and go for some yoga class. But because I am so, so passionate about my job and because dancing is such a huge part of my life, regardless whether I'm heartbroken or not, this is my escape to kind of not feel for a little bit and just go through that first hardest stage, I would say, when you just lost somebody and you're grieving. Because mind you, fun fact or side fact, I don't know if you have ever heard of it, but actually when you're heartbroken, the emotions and stages that you're going through are very similar to grieving when you're losing somebody who's passing away. So yeah, you're going through anger, through denial, through like extreme sadness and all those stages that are in the grief. And I feel like it makes a lot of sense because when you are losing somebody who you really love, you are grieving the future that you could have had together, right? Like maybe you've had some dreams and maybe you had some plans in the future, and now that this person is gone, those plans and that future literally died. That version of you that you were hoping is going to happen and be in the future just passed away. So obviously it makes a lot of sense that the stages after heartbreak are very similar to grieving. So to me, to deal with this first shock of losing that future that I was hoping for is just to fully focus on myself and dancing. And after some time, eventually emotions are catching up with me, and I need to take a moment to let myself break down in tears and just feel vulnerable and emotional. And some people, or again, Google, says that you should actually let yourself feel at the beginning. I think it makes sense, but I also feel like sometimes life happens and you just literally don't have time to feel sad. When you're having exams or very busy time at work, or maybe you have children, you can't just instantly take a day off or take a week off to spend it in bed and cry. So I feel like the reality sometimes is different, and that's why a lot of times when I'm very busy or I have things to do, I just don't feel ready to be faced with these emotions. I just turn my emotions off and work and dance. But then eventually, like I said, I am taking some time to just feel and to feel sad, because that's a part of it. And it definitely helps. And even though at the beginning I feel like the world is on my shoulders and everything feels so heavy, and I feel physical pain because of that emotional pain. And sometimes, girl, there were times years back when I would just sob laying down on the floor. That's how bad it was. Or like I would wake up in the morning already with tears in my eyes. I would like cry myself to sleep with some heartbreaks. So it was tough, but throughout all those years and all those heartbreaks, I have experienced it that eventually it does get better. It might take weeks, it might take even months, but eventually there's going to be that day when you're going to wake up and you're going to feel good. And there's going to be that day where you're going to realize throughout the day, like, oh, I didn't think about this person today so far. And that's new, because up till this day, I felt like I was thinking about them all the time. So, yeah, let yourself feel. And I promise to you, no matter how hard it feels now, it is going to feel better in the future. Now, another advice is to seek support and spend time with friends and loved ones. And that is something that I'm definitely very big on. I am very close with my friends. And even though I work a lot and I'm pretty busy, I definitely make sure that I see my best friends from time to time, or actually more often, because we also work together. And thank God, I am very blessed to have friends who are also very affectionate, and when I'm feeling sad, they're there to also hug me, to have a sleepover together, to cook for me. And I feel like this is also something that really helps me to get through when I'm very sad. So I definitely recommend it to you. I mean, I do realize that not everybody has so close friends, and not everybody has a family, but I really hope for you that you have at least this one person that you can be vulnerable with, and that you can reach out to and just ask them to be with you, to hug you, and just to be together without even like doing anything. Because a lot of times when I felt heartbroken, I didn't really feel like going out for dinner, or do something fun. So those type of friends for going out and stuff are not the ones that I need the most at that particular time. I'm talking about friends who are almost like your family, friends that you can call in the middle of the night or like late in the evening and be like, listen, today I feel so lonely. Can I just come over and sleep over? And then you just go there and you just chill with them. You sleep with them, like, no, like platonically. And then in the morning you wake up, you have a breakfast. Maybe they have to work, but you can just chill in their house to just not be alone. That's something that definitely helps me a lot. And recently, I also went to my mom's, and that was also something that just helped me a little bit more in my healing journey, because I could just switch my brains off. I was just chilling in the garden, and my mom was jumping around me and making me breakfast, dinner, supper, bringing me tea, bringing me water with lemon and a water with cucumber. And yeah, just being surrounded by somebody who really truly loves you and who's there to take care of you was very helpful. Okay, another thing is to take good care of yourself. That's also something super cliche, but I feel like sometimes you might be forgetting it when you're in this despair and extreme sadness. So, of course, there's like lots of different ways of taking care of yourself, but I could imagine this is what I do, going for a massage, or maybe getting your nails done, maybe have a haircut. So, just again, try to do something that you enjoy and something that will make you feel better and maybe look prettier. So I feel like that really connects with this full focus on yourself thing. Another thing is setting boundaries. And I think that's something that a lot of people are pretty bad in, including myself. Sometimes there were times when I had like breakups when it would just be clean cut, especially when the person that I was dating would lie to me and I would find out. To me, there's no going back from it. Like, I hate lies so bad that, yeah, you can't imagine how much I hate lying. So when there were times when somebody I would be dating would lie to me and I would find out about it, that was like done for me. It's like instantly I would get over the feelings and it was like I never knew this person. It's like this person never existed. But there were also times where I was dating somebody who was really toxic and manipulative, and the feelings were so strong already by the time it started going badly that I couldn't just like break up with them. And then the breakups were so messy and so embarrassing, to be very honest with you, when I'll be like, okay, it's done. And I'll be like crying there and I'll be like leaving their house. I'll be like, okay, we never seeing each other again. And then 2 days later I would like reach out to them, or just I would like be writing those ridiculous paragraphs of like, how could you do this to me, and you told me you love me. And yeah, it would be going on like this for months, you know. Thank God now, last few years, especially like when I turned 30 and wise, I stopped doing it. And even though sometimes the heartbreaks, the breakups were really sad from my side, because, you know, a lot of times when my relationships were ending, it wasn't really because he cheated or he lied to me. I've had enough of those. But recently, it wasn't that, it was just distance. Every time I'll be dating somebody who would move away or who would already live abroad, and then it just would get too hard. Like, props to everybody who makes long distance relationships work, because I can't do this. So yeah, that would be mostly the reason why we would break up. But that was way harder for me to let go, because it wasn't like this person did something bad to me, you know. I still would have feelings to them, and when we were talking or if we saw each other, it would be so great, and I'll be like, damn, we really could have had such a great future if you just moved back, or if you move here, you know. But yeah, that person wouldn't want that, and then that would be the reason why we would end this. But it was super difficult for me to just stop the contact and stop trying to like remind them and make them aware of what they're throwing away, you know. Right now, with this breakup, I'm really actually proud of myself. I'm kind of surprised that I'm standing so strong. But I said what I wanted to say. We had very heartfelt, long conversation. When I came back home, I wrote him a message where I said what I had in mind. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I didn't expect that. But I told him that it just hurts that even though he was so committed throughout all those years, we've known each other for 4 years, and he was so persistent in pursuing me and worked so hard last year to show me that he is there to make it work. And he also said that he's open to move to Amsterdam. And now when it got harder because he has a new job, it yeah, he's letting it go. And I told him that I'm just in shock. Like, it wasn't even like I was trying to convince him, but I just told him that I literally can't believe that this is happening. And it hurts so much to see that change. You know, that, like I said, last year you were so great. You were surprising me with your persistency and with your consistency. And I really believed you that we are going to make it work. And now you letting it go. And so yeah, I said that one time and that was it. Like, I didn't say anything more. He also sent me like a long voice message saying that it's not the way I think, la 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 la. But all in all I can see is that, well, if you wanted to make it work just as much you were saying you wanted to work, you would be making it work. And it's not working. So there's no point of sending the same messages over and over again or having the same conversations. At some point, it's time to let it go. And even though we've had also really beautiful friendship for last years, I just decided to set my boundaries and not speak to him again, even though it's so hard. Because, yeah, this person has been a part of my life for so many years. I decided that this time it's really time to set some boundaries and just stop the contact, no matter how hard it is. And I think that maybe makes it a little bit easier to deal with. And another thing that I'm actually considering is to delete his pictures from my phone. I've never done it, you guys, by phone, because I have an iPhone. My phone has pictures from my boyfriends from like 2015 or something. And every now and then they'll be like popping out. But I don't know, I just never deleted them. I have like 36,000 pictures on my phone, I know. But with this one, again, because it hurts so bad, every time I see some reminder, a photo in this, little thing on iPhone, that really like hurts me. And I was like, okay, I think somewhere upcoming days, I'm just going to sit down and delete them. And again, it does hurt because I don't want to like, oh my God, I didn't expect it. I don't want to delete those memories because again, yeah, we've known each other for so many years. But I think that is going to help me to let it go even more. So yeah, as hard as it can be, I think that's what we should do. Like I said, I've never done it before, but I think this is actually something that can help to move on faster. Another thing that my psychologist also told me, and I am trying to do, especially from my last breakup, so not this one, but the one before, is to actually sit still with it and like reflect and think to yourself, like, okay, what did I learn about myself out of this breakup? What did I learn about my dating patterns, and try to do better and choose better next time and maybe communicate better. So, for instance, from the last relationship, like the one before this one that ended now, I have learned that I can get very anxious when it comes to distance, and that I just need to like communicate very openly with my partner what I've been through beforehand and what I need to be more at ease. So with my previous partner, the one that we broke up with now, I have just been really open, and thank God he was also very receptive about things that I have experienced in the past and about things that trigger me. And he was really good at reassuring me and just making sure that he does the smallest things that make me more at ease and just, don't trigger me. Like, for instance, stupid thing, like messaging me good morning and good night, even if he's like out somewhere with friends, and letting me know that we are good, and just, having a little bit patience with me. So that reflecting on my previous relationship helped to facilitate the one that I was in now. Like, that was actually really nice, and I realized that it really, really helps to communicate my needs very clearly and to be very open about my past. And I also think maybe for the future, it's like a little bit of a reflection is going to help me to choose a better partner, aka somebody who lives here. I don't know. And another thing that I do definitely recommend you guys is journaling. So that is actually connected to reflecting. But throughout last years, every time I felt really sad in relationships or like when they were ending, it really did help me a lot to, yeah, just journal. So definitely get your journal, get your notebook, or if you're not somebody who likes to write, maybe start doing video journaling like I'm doing now. But yeah, definitely, girl or boy, get your reflecting and learning on mode on. Another thing that Google has recommended, there are 3 more tips, is to stay active. And I am all here for that, as you probably may know, because yoga loves to dance and I also love sports. And, being active and doing sports prompts endorphin in our bodies. And that is what we need So whatever it is that you like, I don't know, go to the gym, go to a swimming pool, go play tennis, get your fit girl mode on, and yeah, just get your mind off feeling sad and lonely by doing some sports. And I also feel like that connects to your body. And of course, I know that not everybody loves doing sports, but come on, there must be something that you do enjoy that will, that makes your body move, so it doesn't have to be gym. Maybe you like riding horses. Maybe you always wanted to take a horse riding class. This is your moment. So let's go, let's move. And another thing, actually, that I didn't put it in my notes, but I just remembered, and I read about it actually some time ago, is that when your relationship is ending, yes, you're losing the future. The future that you were planning is dying, la la la. But one thing that you're gaining actually is a freedom, like you're not tied to another person anymore. So this is your time to do the things that you kind of wanted to do, but because of your relationship you couldn't. I mean, for instance, maybe let's go extreme with examples, living in a different country. Like, to me, for instance, I still have this kind of desire to move to Spain for at least a year. And when I was with my boyfriend, because he lives in England, that plan, that dream kind of got not forgotten, but put on the side, because I was like, well, if we were to make it work, there's no way I can move to Spain. It's either way, me moving to England or you coming to the Netherlands. That were our options, or going to like another English speaking country together. So my Spain dream kind of died for a little while. And then now, because it ended, that is back on the table. Like now I am not dependent on any other person. I don't have to take anyone else into consideration. I can just decide today and do it tomorrow without talking about it with anyone and discussing it. And that is also with a lot of other things, like, I don't know, maybe you always wanted to travel to Asia, but your partner is not really big fan of traveling, or maybe he doesn't really like that much Asian culture. So then you would always have to compromise and go to different countries for holidays. Or you couldn't travel as much because, I don't know, and now this is your time, you're not tied to anyone. You don't have to consult anything with anyone. You don't have to spend time with this person. So you gain some time and you gain some freedom when it comes to making decisions about yourself. For me, for instance, right now, I just decided that I'm going to use this time that I've been spending with my boyfriend to invest in my business even more and to grow from confidence. And here we are, I'm doing this podcast, and I feel like that makes me happy, and I feel like, yeah, I'm gaining something. So, yeah, use the time that you have. Also, another thing that I wanted to recommend you, and that's also advice to me, is to take some time to heal before dating again. Because I feel like a lot of us, including myself, yes, I'm on that boat, is very quick to be dating quite soon after breakup. And actually, I did it for the first time last time after my breakup, that I didn't date for a while. And it was such a beautiful period of time because, yeah, I mean, I get it that because you're lonely, you kind of want to find this like rebound. But let's be honest, if you're not healed, it's difficult to get into something healthy and nice because your heart is still torn apart, and maybe you're still thinking about your ex, and it's actually kind of unfair to the new person. So yeah, let's do something new and let's take some time off from relationships and dating. And again, I know it can be really hard because you're lonely, you want to have some affection and you want to go for dates. But again, maybe try to fulfill this time that you want to spend doing something fun with the other person by doing it with your friends. You can also go for dates with your friends. You can also have hug dates and cuddle dates and movie dates with your friends. I mean, platonic, let's put it out there. Or do something for your business or do something for yourself, travel by yourself. So, yeah, let's do some me time before jumping into dating again. And that is actually what Google also said, give yourself time. Like, you really have to take your time to heal, and don't be upset if it takes really, really long time, because your heart has its own time frame to heal, like if you cut yourself open, like physically, you're not going to like jump into swimming pool with that open wound, right? Like you're going to nourish it, and you're going to give it time to heal, and you're going to give it time to like get together. You're going to be careful with it. And I feel like the same goes for your heart. You really have to take care of it and just give it as much time as it needs. Okay. Another thing that I wrote down, sorry, was to focus on the future. Don't let's not let ourselves to just have these dark thoughts all the time. And I know it's kind of normal for us to be like thinking that, yeah, you've been maybe disappointed so many times and you feel like you're never gonna end up in like long term healthy relationship. But try to think more, I want to say positive, but also I don't want to sound negative at the same time. But you know what it is? I really don't like hearing it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys don't like hearing it as well. When people tell you, especially our moms, because they love us so much, um, and tell us things like, oh yes, you will find someone, just focus on yourself now, sure. Because there will be somebody for you. There will be somebody you meet at you're going to have this dream family with, and lovey-dovey relationship. The truth is, in my opinion, that not everybody has this luck. And as negative as it can sound, and some of you can come for me, I truly feel like there are some really wonderful women. I met them who are in their 50s already, and they just were very unlucky when it comes to relationships, and they just never got to meet that partner who gave them what they deserve. And yeah, it's very, very sad. It's very heartbreaking to think of it, but I think that's reality. A lot of people find their person. Some people find somebody that they think is their person, but it's not, because this person makes them unhappy. But let's keep it for another episode. But some people just don't. And I feel like you just have to also kind of have it in mind. As in, I definitely want to, and I definitely support being positive and trying to think of future in brighter colors, and hoping that you are going to meet someone, and also working on meeting somebody through dating and being open. But the reality is, maybe you won't. And what I do when I have those thoughts is I just try to think of other things in the future that I have more impact on and that I can make nice. So, for instance, I really want to have a great impact in society, and I want to make people's lives better. And in the near future, I also would like to start contributing to helping children who are a little bit less fortunate. And that makes me happy. That makes me feel like, yes, my life is going to make some impact on this planet. So let me add another tip actually that I have for you guys, and that would be remind yourself constantly that you are worthy, okay? So whatever the reason of the breakup was, especially if that other person did you injustice and hurt you, please, please, please don't let this break you down, okay? Because maybe I don't know you, but I can bet that you are worthy, and you are worthy of love, and you are beautiful, and you are smart enough, and you are good enough. Because this is how I feel, to be honest. I feel very, very lucky that even though I've been through all those heartbreaks, and even though my ex-boyfriend really hurt me and let me down, that will never impact my self-worth and my view of myself being worthy of love. Of course, I feel hurt, I feel disappointed, I feel betrayed, I feel confused. Why and how did it happen? But by no means this situation makes me feel like I am not worthy of love, or I'm not beautiful. Girl, I sure am beautiful, and I know I'm smart, and I know I'm worthy of love, and I know I'm a nice, fun person to be around. And I really hope that you are thinking the same, or if you're feeling like you're not at that positive stage yet, that you have somebody who can remind you, and that you are doing some self work to remind yourself. So Do affirmations every morning. Write it down on your freaking mirror. Talk to your friends and ask them to tell you what they love about you. Talk to a therapist. Oh, that's actually a really cool tip. I forgot about that, but that's so, so good and important. If you have means, just go to a therapist, because that's something that helps so much, to talk to somebody who's unbiased and who's objective and also professional. Because, of course, you can talk to your friends and your friends can comfort you and give you some advice and tell you that your ex was trash. But I've really noticed that talking to my therapist makes me feel so much more at peace and better, because she's still objective, and also she doesn't know me that well. She doesn't know my ex, but she's a professional psychologist, so she can ask very right questions to make me come to conclusions that I need to come to. Whether your friends, they have their own subjective opinion, and sometimes I feel like they can feed you some not necessarily best thoughts. Go and talk to a therapist. So yeah, guys, that's the advices that I have for you. I feel like we kind of rounded it up to 10, and I hope that now the ending is a little bit more positive that I was about to end it with. Thank you so much for listening. If anything, I really, really hope that this episode was helpful, and I hope that it was pleasant to listen. If you have any feedback, or if there's anything that you would like to share, please comment if you're watching it on YouTube, or feel free to send me a message. And I am going to let you go now, and I will speak to you next time. Bye.